My name is Shannon Chavla, and I'm the creator of the course Pathways to Pain Relief, which is a course built for people who are dealing with chronic pain. I'm also an acupuncturist. I've been one for many, many years, and I really love what I do. And so I'm here to share just some of the little tidbits that over the years I have gathered to help people manage and understand their pain. So today, in this video, I want to talk about something that often is not spoken about with chronic pain. Often when someone comes in and says, "Oh, I've got a headache," it's like, okay, well, here, do this, take this, be this. And I started to glean down that it's really important to ask the question, what is your relationship to pain? Pain in general. So this is not a small question, right? This is a big question, but it's a really, really important one. And it's one that I feel is really at the central part of why I created this course and how I work with people. Because as humans, if we get to understand how we navigate pain in general and the idea of being in pain emotionally, physically, that gives us so much information about how we get to heal it. So what I mean by that is that, so most people, when we are in pain, most of us do one of two things, right? We're either going to avoid it or we're going to fight it. So if we take that into, let's just look at the nervous system reaction to that, right? We fight it, right? We're like, we've got our hands up and we're blocking it and I'm going to fight it. My belief system about that is that when we've got everything out here, there's all this stuff right in here that gets messed with, right? Because you need to like come back into the self to understand the difference between the fighting and the avoiding. So what's avoiding? So if we look at that from a nervous system standpoint, we're kind of turned away, right? So both of those, a fighting energy and an avoiding energy, doesn't actually allow us to be present with the energy that's in our body. And then that energy and that pain actually becomes worse. And the reason why it becomes worse is because it's trying to get your attention. Hey, you noticing this over here and that over there? And then the nervous system gets really confused and then it gets triggered very easily. So what's the balance? The balance is just, first of all, without judgment, without shame, without all the things that come along with, being really upset that we have chronic pain. And most people that I know that have chronic pain are really hard on themselves. And that's something that I hope that over time you get to shift. Because if you're a bit easier on yourself and you begin to understand, okay, I'm the fighter, I'm just going to deal with it, fine. But are you really? Because honestly, that sets a whole system up for avoidance, actually. And then, I'm just going to avoid the pain. I'm just going to forget that it's not even there. But even that sets up this energy for fighting something. So that takes us back to how do we do that? Well, I think that is a step-by-step, moment-by-moment, careful, easy shift into just becoming present with the sensation of a pain instead of the reactivity of it or the story behind it or the story of what it means when we have pain. Now, I think it's really important to stop right here because this is not gaslighting. This is not saying, oh, you don't have your pain. No, that's not true at all. And this is not saying, oh, you should do it better. No, that's not it either. My conversation is around how does someone respond to pain in their nervous system? And is it an old habit And is there a place and a space for something new? Is there potential for something that might be different? And I think there is. You know why? Because I've watched it with so many patients and clients. I've watched the transition happen. When people start to feel safe, when people start to feel calmer, when they start to feel like they get to have more power over how they manage pain, they start to feel better. So that's all this video is about, is to just have you start thinking about, well, gosh, what's my relationship to pain? And in the course, we go over this a lot, so you can actually just really write it out and talk about it. And it's what I do in coaching a lot with people. But for right now, just think about it and think about what it would be like if that relationship was a bit different. One that wasn't a fight, one that wasn't avoiding, but one that was just present with the question and curiosity of, what are you trying to tell me right now, pain? What is it that I need to know?